any confirmed tornadoes or any confirmed damage, but I imagine at least trees are going to be falling due to the strength of this rotation that we now have due west of Huntland. Let me get in closer and let you know how many miles that is west of Huntland. This is going to be about 7 miles due west of Huntland. It is moving east at about 35 miles an hour. So let me track the rotation on this storm, because that's the area that's going to be producing the possible tornado. We'll cross this large area, move it due east at 30 miles an hour. Again, it's going to be in Huntland at 5:56. So if you are in Huntland, if you are in Elora, if you are in Flintville, you need to be staying in your shelter. This is a dangerous thunderstorm here, capable of producing a tornado and widespread damaging winds, along with the possibility of hail. Elora, around 5:48, is now 5:45, so 3 minutes, and it's going to be in Elora. It is 3 minutes until it moves into Elora. Again, this is an area of rotation. We've picked up on the Doppler radar. All signs are that we could see a tornado. If not now, it could be produced here within a matter of minutes. So that's why you need to be seeking shelter as quickly as you possibly can and as safely as you possibly can in Elora and in Huntland. This rotation weakened just a bit, and that's what we're waiting to see. See how it weakened there some? We're going to wait and see how many. The radar here updates about every 5 minutes, so that update there, it weakened. So if we continue to see this, that's good news. Good news if you live in Huntland, and also good news if you live in Elora. The threat continues on the east side of Flintville, and if you do have any damage up there, please email us at weather@waff.com. We are monitoring our email as well. Let me get this storm track down, and let's go out here to the west. I'm going to switch radars. First, we're going to start with the NextRad Doppler radar for you folks in Florence. While we're doing that, let's take a live look at our Shoals camera looking off to the west. We're going to go over here to the Columbus Air Force Base NextRad, kind of a view from the south at this storm. Yeah, it's not looking as intense as it did earlier, but there's quite a bit of lightning out there nonetheless. Okay, the tornado warning does continue for Franklin and Lincoln County. That's in southern Tennessee until 6 o'clock, so that's 14 more minutes on that. So far, I am monitoring all traffic with the National Weather Service office, and so far, no confirmation of damage. But keep in mind, this is also a rural area, so if there is damage, for one, there's no power. And, if there was a tornado and it took out a cell phone tower, well, there's a lack of communication there as well. We are continuing to monitor the storm in the Shoals, which is producing a significant amount of lightning. It is due west of Florence right now. And those lightning strikes you see right there, we're tracking those strike by strike here. Those are right over Oakland. So if you folks in the Shoals know where Oakland is, I'll zoom in a little bit closer. You are looking out State Highway 20 there. This is the most intense lightning that you see at the other side of the screen. So if you're going to be traveling, it's out County Highway 14 there, due west of Florence. So a lot of lightning in the area. Now I'm going to go ahead and switch the radar here and see what kind of wind we have. Indicating all the wind is towards all this green area. This is wind towards, but wow, there's another significant lightning strike. All this wind is towards Florence, but this wind is at about 45 to 50 miles an hour. So we have a lot of wind getting ready to hit a heavily populated area out here in Florence. So as I back the view out, I'll draw this line in here. And this wind, again, this area of wind, it's about 50 miles an hour, is racing towards the west side of Florence. So we'll get the latest sweep here from WAFF Live Doppler 48 radar. Again, the severe thunderstorm watch goes out until 8 o'clock this evening. The most intense lightning now near Oakland, but it is quickly advancing to the east. So if you live on the west side of Florence, prepare for possible power outages as this lightning is very intense and that coupled with significant wind. What we're looking at here as far as looking at the wind goes, we have this entire green area. This green area here near Oakland with all this significant lightning, it is pushing towards Florence. So we have winds inside of here. They're not twisting. They're all moving in the same direction. They're all coming towards Florence, Muscle Shoals, and Tuscumbia. The only reason I'm showing Florence here is because the most intense part of this storm is out of County Highway 14 and moving in your direction. So due to the drought, we're going to have trees down by this type of wind. It doesn't take as much wind when you have trees that a lot of them are dead and you don't even know it. So that's one concern there. The other concern is just everything else blowing around. There's probably going to be a lot of dust blowing around as well. Let's take one more look with the Shoals camera and the Doppler radar beside each other, and then we are going to take you back up into southern Tennessee. Yeah, okay. I'm reading from the National Weather Service information as well. So let me take this back to the intensity so you can get a better idea. And I'll put this, wow, there's another significant lightning strike there. So I'll put this into motion. The very heavy rain now moving into the west side of Florence along State Highway 20, the Petersville-Underwood area. Very heavy rain. Probably going to start to see some trees down and stuff like that. Reports come across the wires here very shortly. Again, severe thunderstorm warning continues until 6 o'clock. 10 more minutes. That's the storm there moving into Florence now with intense lightning. Get a little bit better view here of Muscle Shoals on down the road. If you're in Muscle Shoals, you're looking off to the north and west and you're seeing all this lightning. Let me go ahead and change that camera vantage point here. Move it over. We're looking north towards the Cox Creek Parkway there. Intense lightning with that storm. Okay, now let's switch gears and go back over to WFF Live Doppler 48 radar and talk more about the storms. We've been telling you to seek shelter in Huntland, Tennessee for a possible tornado. I'll give you an update. The storm is now moving into Huntland. So let me put the velocity data on here. And we still see some circulation going on in that storm. It's pretty broad, though. I mean, we've got winds towards and winds away, so it's not as striking as it once was, but I would still be seeking shelter in Huntland. If you're in Elora, the damaging twisting wind threat is over. Also in Flintville, that twisting wind threat is over. So the tornado threat is over in southeastern Lincoln County. That storm that's producing a possible tornado is now into Franklin County. The lightning intensity has gone down on this storm as well. I'm going to back the view out and put this into motion. Actually, I'm going to give everybody a good view of what's going on since we're on everybody's television set here in North Alabama and southern Tennessee. Put that into motion. You can see how we had this very tight circulation, and it's leaving us, so that's good. So our tornado threat's going down, but stay in your shelter in Huntland. This storm will be over with in about 15 minutes. Now let's expand our view back out and show you everybody and let you know we've got a nasty storm moving into Giles County too. The worst of the weather. Again, we are streaming online at WAFF.com. Let me turn some of these colors off. Take it down to about 30. So when I loop this, we're going to be watching damaging wind threat here. Damaging wind threat on the west side of Florence, north of Muscle Shoals. Our tornado threat weakening somewhat. Again, I'll mark this here in purple a bit. Tornado threat there. I'll put this into motion. You can see what's moving faster. It's this squall line up here to the north. So even in Fayetteville, you may have escaped the damaging wind from this storm here. We've got another storm up here to the north that's just racing east-southeast at 45 miles an hour, and that could produce significant straight-line wind damage. For you folks in Pulaski to the north, I would be get ready to batten down the hatches. This is a nasty storm, significant lightning. I would say winds probably easily 60 miles per hour. This line here does have a history of knocking down trees. The storm over here near Florence, it's weakening, but it could still knock down a few trees and knock out some power there in Florence. Let's go back to our camera over there, our Shoals camera. You can get a live look.